What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated lightweight star title contender, Frank the Ghost Martin, who is 18 wins, no losses, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, and he's a southpaw. He finally responds back to Olympic silver medalist, undefeated two-division world champion, former unified super featherweight WBC WBO world champion, and lightweight superstar title contender, Shakur Stevenson, who is 20 wins, no losses, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 26 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, and he too is a southpaw. So Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson was set to go to a purse bid for the vacant WBC lightweight title that's going to be vacated by undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who has 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Devin Haney is now moving up to junior welterweight. Okay, he's going to challenge the two-time WBC junior welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is the reigning WBC junior welterweight world champion, Regis Prograis. So Regis Prograis is 29 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 24 big wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, and he too is a southpaw. So Regis Prograis, Devin Haney, they're going to fight December 9th, San Francisco, California, at the Chase Center where the Golden State Warriors play. And Devin Haney has been removed of his duties of the WBC World Boxing Council. President Mauricio Sulaiman, board of 32 members, have informed he will be relieved of his duties. And now that belt is vacated, and now Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin are set to fight for that vacant WBC title. Well, they were set to go to a purse bid, I believe, September 5th. And the purse bid didn't happen because, according to reports, Frank Martin and his team, he's with Errol Spence and Man Down Promotions, PBC. He's advised by the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder advisor Al Heyman, Showtime President Sports Steven Espinosa, as Shakur Stevenson is with legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO Bob Arum, and ESPN and Top Rank. And apparently they came to a purse bid halt, where they didn't have to have the purse bid because both sides agreed. Now, if both sides agreed, this means that Mauricio Sulaiman and the board of 32 members have been informed by Frank Martin's side that they agree into the terms and to negotiations that are set by Shakur Stevenson, as well as vice versa. Then 48 hours later, we are informed that Frank Martin and his team have informed Top Rank and ESPN he's no longer interested in making the fight happen, and essentially he's moving on. And so Shakur Stevenson took to social media. He responded, said Frank Martin is ducking. Now keep in mind, former unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the True Spence Jr., who is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, in the prime of his career. He just had one of the biggest fights, if not the biggest, most competitive, supposed to be on paper fight, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, when he took on Terrence Bud Crawford, who's a close friend and big brother and mentor figure to Shakur Stevenson. Terrence Crawford stopped Errol Spence. We know that story. But Errol Spence is in the midst of his career, at the height of his career. And Errol Spence is active as a promoter. Man Down Promotions. Frank Martin is signed to him. He's advised by Al Heyman. Errol Spence has been publicly calling out Shakur Stevenson for a fight with Frank Martin for quite some time now. Shakur Stevenson had no interest in this fight. He was never talking about it. He was focused on Devin Haney and undefeated 3-division, 5-time world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. That was his focus. And Errol Spence kept throwing Frank Martin in the mix for Shakur. And Keyshawn Davis, who is a figure to Shakur Stevenson and is a lightweight star title contender, he was calling out Frank Martin. And Errol Spence was saying, no, we don't want to fight you. We want to fight your big brother. Shakur was like, okay, if y'all think he ready, let's make it happen. Nonetheless, we get to this point where it's being reported that Frank Martin turned it down. Frank Martin doesn't say anything for a day. He says nothing for a whole day after these reports come out. And then he comes out and says, I didn't turn down anything. Now, I previously, yesterday, made a video about Frank Martin saying send the contract. I know the date when he said it, and I know the date when he said I didn't duck anything. I was using these two references to describe Frank Martin and what his mentality, quote unquote, is within the sport of boxing. He was saying send the contract. So I'm saying for Shakur Stevenson to call his bluff, since they're saying that he didn't receive a contract, and publicly send him a contract. Call his bluff. The problem I have now is this. Because of the situation with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney's negotiations falling apart, and that Shakur Stevenson turned down 25% of 4 belts and big money, the most money he would have made in his career, to face Devin Haney because he felt like he was worth more. And we know that spat went back and forth, and Shakur Stevenson was saying Devin Haney was ducking, never sent the real offer. Devin Haney is saying, well, I sent you an offer, you just didn't take it. I sent you a better offer than I took for my undisputed match. Nonetheless, he didn't take it. And many people had an issue with the way Shakur Stevenson handled those negotiations with Devin Haney, including myself. But now we're testing what took place with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney as a way of what's taking place with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. And now we're saying that Shakur Stevenson instantly, as soon as Frank Martin said, I didn't duck anything, instantly everybody said they knew Shakur Stevenson was lying. Shakur Stevenson is not lying about this situation with Frank Martin. And until Frank Martin, and I support Frank Martin, and he knows I respect Frank Martin, I respect him and his father, I respect him as a fighter. But until Frank Martin comes out and clarifies this, Shakur Stevenson is in the right. Frank Martin didn't come out and debunk anything. All he said was, I didn't duck anything. Well, if you and your team was calling for this fight with Shakur Stevenson, and if you and your team was getting active with Shakur Stevenson and he had no interest in fighting you, you're the one that woke up that giant to make a fight happen with him, right? We can't blame the person for reacting and not blame the person who started it, okay? And so now everybody wants to attest the Devin Haney situation to Shakur Stevenson and blame Shakur Stevenson and automatically say, well, Shakur Stevenson is capping. How's he capping when we can clearly see that the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman cannot legally just come out and say that Frank Martin and his team have confirmed to them that they agreed to a certain to a certain negotiation with Shakur Stevenson and take the purse bid off the table now for this WBC mandatory title. And then it's reporting that Frank Martin is going to get $1 million. He's going to fight for a title, and it's a marquee fight. He's 28. I gave Errol Spence nothing but credit for, at this stage of his career, being a promoter and getting his fighter this big fight. It's reported that Frank Martin only got $100,000 for his last fight. This is 10 times the amount that he would have received for his last fight. I don't care about the negotiations with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. what he did and did not take. I'm talking about this negotiations. Now, you can say you throw a boomerang in the dark and it comes back. People could say, well, Shakur Stevenson did this to Devin Haney. Now he's doing it to Frank Martin, but he didn't like when it was done to him. Well, there's a big difference. Frank Martin never fought for a world title, nor has he ever won a world title. Shakur Stevenson is on a much bigger platform and on a much bigger stage and has done way more than Frank Martin has done to this point in his career. Not making it okay, but it's two different negotiations. This is for a vacant belt. That was for undisputed. That was a pay-per-view fight. This is not a pay-per-view fight, although it could be put on pay-per-view. Then people had an issue saying that, well, this fight was going to take place. This fight was going to take place on November 16th, which is a Thursday. That's not possible. Well, Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns fought on a Wednesday for undisputed, two of the best fighters in the world at that time. Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns, if I'm not mistaken, they fought on a Monday. So this fight and these fighters are not bigger, but people are saying this is a different time. It's because they don't know anything about boxing. But we cannot place this blame on Shakur Stevenson. The blame has to go to Frank Martin. Frank Martin hasn't clarified, nor has his team clarified anything going on with this situation. They haven't said anything. They haven't told the world. All he said was, I didn't duck nothing. So then what took place? Because Top Rank, ESPN, and Shakur Stevenson are giving details. All he said was, I didn't duck. That's not enough. And we can't keep putting this onus on Shakur Stevenson because you don't like the way he negotiated with Devin Haney. Two wrongs, it doesn't make it correct. Completely two different situations. Let's separate the two. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. I'm gone. Peace.